Hiya, Alex here, Daily Blues. Now last night, a terrible result for City away at Liverpool and an awful performance to match. Everyone's asking, where did we go wrong? For me, weak performances all over the park. Joe Hart, Nicholas Otamendi. To be honest, there was no one who played well. It'd be harsh to pinpoint one player. Why that is, we can't confirm. Tiredness, maybe, but Liverpool played in the same cup final. We were weak in midfield. We're looking at Navas, Sterling and Silva. None of those players particularly top heavy, and they need someone to protect them. And dare I say it, we miss Yaya Toure. Even Fernandinho was getting knocked off the ball and didn't really have anything about him. It was one of these occasions when we're looking at Yaya Toure and thinking, even though I'm calling for him to go in the summer, I think it's time. Who do we replace him with? Do we need to bring somebody in? And who is that going to be? Who can hit the ground running? Is it a Paul Pogba or a Kondogbia or someone we've not heard of yet? I don't know. But we're going to have to look at that because last night we got a glimpse of the future of what it's going to be like without Yaya Toure. Pellegrini had a strange game, taking Fernandinho off when we were already weak in midfield to put Wilfried Bony on up top, playing with three strikers. That seemed to leave us looking stranded in midfield. Fernando is a good player, but hasn't got it with him to run in midfield. And David Silva, one of the best attacking players in the league, if not the world, was going to have to go back and defend. It seemed like a waste of his talents. He looked out of place. It just didn't seem to work. It was horrible to watch, especially for me at home. And for those of you that went, I'm sorry for you, boys and girls. So last night, terrible result, but we need to move on, onwards and upwards, put it to one side. A lot of people are saying City are out of the title race, and it doesn't look good. We're 10 points behind league leaders Leicester. Even though Tottenham and Arsenal dropped points last night, we are in a really, really poor position. If City are going to come back and win the league this season, it would be the single greatest title comeback I think I've seen in my lifetime, and I think long as I can look back further. But look it's not completely over. You can never write off Manchester City. There's a couple of reasons, and I'll run through them now, why we don't have to write ourselves off. Number one, everyone else has got 10 games to go. We've got 11. We've got a game in hand with Newcastle. That's a game where we can surely be picking up 3 points. This title race changes every 3 games. City were favourites, United were favourites, Tottenham were favourites, Arsenal were favourites, Leicester were favourites. It changed every 3 games, and 3 games from now, City could be the favourites. We've got Villa this weekend. Aston Villa are really, really out of form. They're looking almost certain to go down. They are not going to be looking forward to the Etihad. We absolutely spanked them at Villa Park in the FA Cup earlier this season. Surely this is an opportunity for those players that have struggled for form in the last couple of weeks. Your David Silvas, your Sergio Agueros, even your Jesus Navas's, we're going to have a chance to get on the score sheet, build up that morale and use it as a rallying cry for the title race. Leicester, on the other hand, they've got some really awkward games. Watford, Palace, Newcastle, games in which they'll be favourites in all 3 of those. But let's look at them against West Brom and Norwich, where they were both favourites. They really, really struggled. They don't like playing on top. The time is now, the real test, where Leicester aren't going to be able to play the underdog card. They're going to start dropping points. Arsenal, they're going to play Tottenham. Hopefully we can get a 1-1 point with 3 red cards on either side, loads of injuries, not those 2 out of the title race together, and it'll come back to City and Leicester. And hey, history loves to repeat itself. If anyone's going to come back, it's going to be Manchester City. And everyone's talked about this season, how Leicester City is amazing and we've never seen anything like it before. Well, that's not actually true, because in 92-93, the Canaries, Norwich City, in 91-92, they'd finished right down the bottom of the table, but in 92-93, they'd won something like their first 13 games. They were on this unstoppable run, and they were league leaders all the way up until April, at a point when they were actually the bookies' favourites. But guess what? They bottled it, and there's no reason to say Leicester can't either. I'm not saying that City are favourites for the title. I'm not that deluded. I'm not saying that we should expect City to come back. We've almost lost it. We won our first 5. We should have walked the league this season, and questions have got to be asked about what went wrong. But we can do it. Don't write us off. Don't push us off. That's what I think. I want to hear from you in the comments. Can City win the league? What is the best we can hope for this season? And what I want to know is, we've won the League Cup. We've won a trophy. We're almost definitely going to finish in the top 4. We're in the last 16 of the Champions League. We might qualify for what looks almost certain when we get into the quarterfinals. Has this been a successful campaign? Yes or no? In the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. This has been Alex, Blue Moon Rising TV.